all right. Welcome to Inside the Logic. I'm your host, Mindful G. And I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. And I think we're going to have a pretty good show tonight. We're going to talk about some things that maybe I know I've gone through them and I'm still going through them. And maybe you have in your life at some point in time. But it's I'd say, when does helping become enabling? Right. So again, when does helping become enabling? And I know that you know, I talked with a few people about uh just kind of ran this topic with them. I ran it over with them and heard what they were saying about it and what they thought about it, and then I shared, my thoughts on it and the things that I went through, and I just want to share with you all. So over the years, I have like a many, I have a very caring heart, and I want to see people do good. Just as I want to see myself do good. But over the years, my helping has become enabling, and I would admit I am a legitimate enabler, and I ain't even good at it. I'm just good at having the opportunity to help, but not really taking the opportunity to help in a more productive way. I'm more like, hey, you need a place to stay. I got a place. Come on in. And instead of me at the onset, you know, laying down some not rules but expectations, because if you allow someone to come into your home or your apartment or wherever, it's all your home if you pay the bills in there, and you know you I'm not going to say, because every situation is different, but what I would say is, in my situation, I've always allowed people in, family, friends, what have you, and I just assume that they would be thinking the same way I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm gonna come in here. I'm appreciative of the help and of the place to get back on my feet and do the things that I need to do to get back out there and become a productive citizen uh, to the world and to myself. However, in my several times of doing this, it's always come out to end badly. Well, not so much badly. I'm saying badly in, argument, bad feelings, and things of that nature, where it should have never gotten there. So what I'm really saying is, as an enabler, I've learned more about myself than I did about trying to help someone else. So I was hoping that, it's been a while since I've been done on podcast, so it's been a while since I've been able to like do my show, and I'll promise you I'm to try my best to be more consistent, because if I'm not consistent, how can I ask you all to come see me when I might not be there? You know. Anyway, I'm just gonna briefly talk about this. This won't be a very long and drawn out uh, podcast tonight, because I'm just still getting my feet wet again. But when someone comes into your life, and it could be a friend, it could be someone, family that you've known for years, and I'll tell you from my experience, now, like I said, everybody's different, but if you don't set some type of, again, not rules, but expectations, then you're already starting off on the wrong foot. It's like, how can you help someone if you haven't given them at least a roadmap for them to follow when they're in your home? This is not like you're a little kid. You got to do this, you got to do that. But you need to do the things that's going to help you get to the next level. And then, in my eyes, going to get you up out of here. And I mean that in the most loving way as possible. But when you don't say things, then it kind of gives the person just a whole level of leeway to just keep doing what they want to do. And they're going to do it until you say they can't do it. And then sometimes when they say they can't, you say they can't do it, then they say, you're belittling them or you're treating them like they're not a woman or a man. And the whole point is you're on the other side saying, "What do you mean? I'm letting you into my house, what I work hard for, what I do, so I can have a level of comfort in my life, and I'm inviting you into that to enjoy that until you can get out and enjoy your own on your own." So, I was hoping that maybe if I had some other people that might have, chimed in or what have you, it would be, a little bit more commentary, as it were. But at this time, I'm not really, worried about it. I just really venting. I'm just venting out here. It's so many things that happen in life for all of us that, if we don't have an avenue or someone that we trust to talk to, and I'm saying, yes, I trust all of you, whoever you are that might see this another time. Yeah, I trust you. I want to hear your commentary. I want to hear your constructive criticism because sometimes we all need to hear it. We all need to hear someone else's perspective. We all need to hear, what someone else went through that may or may not have been similar to your situation. I'm just here saying, if you don't laugh, sometimes you might cry. And when you out here doing the best you can to be the best that you can, and you're bringing things, or I wouldn't say things, you're bringing unneeded stress into your life that sometimes will alter your life and alter your good feelings. And it's more so that I always you know I everybody likes to do things that make them feel good, and it make you feel good when you're able to help someone out, because we all been down there before. We all been low, you know, and we needed help. No one's beyond needing help, but there comes a time when if you help someone, you have to know when your help has become enabling, whereas you're not allowing them to correct themselves to a point where they see that, hey, I may be overstepping my bounds. Uh, you know, it's again, it's like a child. If you don't, if you don't correct a child some when they're young, the child keeps doing it. But when you're dealing with adults, most of the time you're not gonna check an adult. You're gonna hope that the adult knows right from wrong and be more common sense thinking. You know, hey, thank you. I'm just checking out the chat here. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and put something in the chat. Let me know what you think or anything. Yeah, I'm thinking about that too. BDT. Um, but it's some things And out here today, it's so much going on. We in so much. We on social media. We killing time watching other people's problems, or you see people online that their life look like they don't have a problem in the world. But again, you're only seeing snippets of their life online. They could be living worse than you are, but they look good in 2 minute, 3 minute little clips. Just think about how it is now, where, you get up every day, you go out and work, and, eh, you have people that live with you that aren't doing the same, or they're doing it, but they're not making or taking the steps to put themselves in a situation where they won't need your help anymore, as in, money or a place to stay. And if the person shows that type of drive and ambition, you have no you have no problem helping them out. But it's when you putting yourself and your effort forward and they're not fully grasping it. It's like you got to put your foot down, you got to be mean. And a lot of times, and I'll use myself as an example, instead of saying what I need to say when I need to say it, to not deal with conflict, you just let it go and hope the person figures it out. But then it doesn't work that way, because it'll always end up, you'll get to a blowing point, which I have in the past, and you'll just say a whole lot of things, you'll regret later. But right now it's just how much can you do? How much help can you really give someone before you start to feel like you're being used? And that alone is like where I learned a lot about myself. I've had conversations in the past with persons that was friends of mine or family, and everything was seemed good. Everything was fine. Everything was working good. But then when things started getting out of hand, you kind of start to you know ask yourself questions, and that's the wrong thing to do right there. You can ask yourself your questions, but you can't answer them. When you start answering your own questions, you're destined to fail. So I learned that there I learned a lot about myself, far as my control, my anger control, my wording, my delivery. Because you can help someone that did something wrong to you, or that you felt was wrong, and you could turn that into a learning lesson, but not a lesson where they seem chastised. And that is what I've learned in my last situation. I've learned that sometimes you just gotta take a few minutes, think about it, think about where they at as best you can mentally. Think about where you're at and and what your end goal is. We all have an end goal. If you're helping somebody out and they're in your house, you have an end goal. When it comes to money, I've learned you never lend what you can't lose. So if anyone were to come to me and ask for money, I'm only going to give them what I can afford to lose. That means if they don't give it back, so be it. My life is not going to be in turmoil, but our relationship will suffer, because I trust, if you ask me for something, I shouldn't have to ask for it back. You should give it back like the agreement was. A lot of times people will ask you for money, and then when you give it to them, and then the day or the time goes by that they were supposed to give it back, then you ask for it back, and they chastise you for asking for whatever. Oh, you want that petty such and such dollars back? Yeah, that same petty such and such dollar you asked for and I gave to you. Yes, I want it back. You know, if you didn't if you didn't want it, or if you didn't have the money to pay it back, you should have asked, "Can I have?" You know, and a lot of people don't do that. So, and that's another part of enabling. When you have friends or family that they chronic always call and asking for a loan, and they'll pay you back, and they never pay back on time, but sometimes they pay back, but it becomes a cycle. It's like, I'm always paying you back, but it's like you pay me back, and then you call me the next week and borrow it again. So that's another form of enabling. So it's like sometimes, and I know it's hard for a lot of people, especially those that have caring hearts, and have the financial prowess to be able to lend money out, or have a place or extra room or things like that. But we have to learn to say no, and just say no without an explanation. No, I just can't do it. And no matter how the person feels, it's like, I can't do it. I'm sorry, but I can't do it. So a lot of times in my life, and I'm speaking generally about myself, is you want to love people that you love. And like I said, when people know that you love them, they push they push the boundaries a little harder than someone that's not as close. And I've learned that. That's why I've become, in my many years here, uh, I've become the person that says I can do it on my own until I can't. So if anyone that knows me, if I come to you asking for anything, I really need it, because I don't make a habit of asking people for anything, So it's like, sorry, that's if you hear that in the background, that is my furnace that I forgot to turn off before I started this podcast. But yeah, I'm sitting here looking at the chat here on there, and I want to thank everybody for coming through on the chat. What's wrong? Yeah, I'm as you know, I'm gonna move on to uh to something else here. I had was thinking about, because I um I read some things online lately, and it's more so like clubbing. I know it may a lot of you all that may be on here are younger, much younger than I am, but if you were going to the club and you saw me, 52-year-old man, in the club, which predominantly 20 somethings, 30 somethings, would you think that I was out of place? Or no matter how I was dressed, you know, or anything like that, you would just be like, look, he looked like somebody's father. What are you doing up in here? So I was saying, like, I looked online, and they did surveys, several surveys that said that the average age of a person to not be clubbing in the traditional, 20 somethings club life is 37. So they saying that 37, you should be moved on to another part or another stage of your partying life, which my personal I think the same because it, I'll speak now for how I look at the younger generation club. First of all, I'm not the super's biggest fan of the music. I like some of it, but not all of it. And that's predominantly what you're going to hear in the clubs. I'm not used to paying a whole lot of money to get in the club to spend money, because when you're older, you start to think about, well, I got bills, I got, yeah, I don't have time to be spending $100 and some in the club and then still not get where I want to be for like drinking wise or whatever. You this is, and I'll let you youngins know. This is when you say I'm getting older. When you start thinking about how many drinks you had, and you looking at your credit bill, and you said, "Man, I could have bought 2 bottles with that." Yeah, that's pretty much Yeah, that's what I said. That's pretty much it. It's like there's nothing in common when you're older. When we're older, we move on. We go to eat. Not to say we don't club, because you can club as long as you're able to dance on that floor and have a good time. But you want to club with people of your era, of your age group. You can go, if at my age 50, I can go 10 years below and a few years older. I ain't got a problem because I know that we're all going to be in the same, you know, music, same thought, same vibe, things of that nature. So it's like when you go to younger ones, it's like what am I doing here? You feel, at least I feel. I don't know about others. I can't speak about others, but at least I feel out of place. And think about this: there's a lot of women my age that still look good, damn good, got bodies like 20 some year olds. But how would they look to a 20 some woman dressing the same way they are? Your body might look 20, but your face is gonna look a little older, even if you look young at 50 or 45. They're still gonna be able to know that you're older. And it's like, I had a talk with a friend of mine, and she explained to me that everybody has reasons why they would be like still clubbing. She specifically said that maybe that period of their life, during their 20s or mid late 20s or whatever, when they were partying real hard, was like the best time of their life. So they keep doing it because they want to keep revisiting and feel that good feeling, because maybe life is not as good as it was then in their everyday life. Now, okay, okay, I get it. I can kind of agree with her on that. However, everybody, got a pass. Everybody, most of us, had some level of struggle in their life. And I don't mean, bro, having to live in the projects or whatever, and no hate on them either. Because with struggle brings get drive and ambition to do better in life. But, if you can't find another way to find something good or a good feeling in your life, then yeah, there's a problem. Somebody needs to lay on somebody's couch. And as I said earlier, I ain't got no couches. I ain't got no bedrooms. I ain't got nothing for anybody to lay on and nothing. Right now, I got a big no vacancy sign on my door. So, but I'll tell you what I will do is I I might go out this weekend. Yes, I will. But guess where I'm going? It won't be. I don't even know the names of the clubs. So I'm just OG. Period. But if I do go out, I usually go out to the lounges. Yeah, and I guess that's what they call OGs, old heads, unk, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's where we go. We go where we can sit around people and have conversations that everybody. Oh no, we ain't going to no AARP, man. I told them people stop sending me stuff. I told them I wasn't even 50 and they was sending it to me. They was like, hey, you 49, you about to be 50. Go ahead and read these brochures and get back with us. I tell them, I say, I don't want no AARP. But then again, hold up. Let me take that back. Man, they be having some good deals now. They be having some discounts. You get a discount everywhere with AARP. But at this point, I think I'm doing well enough that I don't need to I don't need to be a card carrier just yet. But I ain't putting them down. I ain't putting them down, and I ain't counting them out. You never know. You might see me a year or two from now saying, "Hey, I'm a card carrier and proud of it." AARP. You heard it first from Mindful G. Yeah. Don't and that's all I gotta say too is y'all need to get here. So when you get here, you'll understand everything I'm saying. Enjoy your ride, have much fun as you can, be responsible, but just know this: every day you wake up, or the good Lord wakes you up, you a day older. So understand that the AARP card is something that you should look forward to getting. At least the mail. Yeah. Cause when you start getting that, you said, "Damn, I done made it. I'm 50. I'm I'm not old." And then you're gonna realize that you ain't old. When you get to 50, you're gonna be like, "Man, I can still do a whole lot of stuff." Yeah. You're gonna be like, "Man, I can still play basketball. I can still go out there." Okay. Maybe I can't run 10 games or 5 games, be out there all day, but you can still do it, and that's enough to keep a brother or a sister going. You know, I see a lot of these Gen Zs and X's and whatever else they want to call them out there. I see them and they look bad. I be like, "How old are you, son? You 35. You look my age." So, saying that, y'all need to be out there taking better care of yourself and stay away from all these craziness that's out here. You don't need to drink a whole lot. You don't need to smoke too much. You can smoke, but don't smoke too much. Make your lips purple. And it shows. Believe that. You heard it first from Mindful G. Slow down, or get you some tips or something, or whatever it is y'all use to smoke it so you don't get the purple lips. Oh yeah, Password Bros. Oh man, you know what? I just saw a post. A friend of mine, not a post. A friend of mine sent me a link to a post about Africa and how well you can live in Africa. Like if you're over here and you work hard and you save your money and you got nice savings and all that, that you can move to several different places in Africa and you can live well. You can live well over there. But right now I'm living fine. But each and every day I wake up, I try to do a whole lot better. You know, everything doesn't happen overnight. Y'all need to remember that. But y'all live in the age of the digital age where I don't know why all of y'all not rich now. Because if I had YouTube growing up, I'd be a millionaire. If I could just go on my phone and say, "How do you know? How do you do this? How do you do that?" Man, I who knows? I don't know where I would be. You know, And I tell you what, if I could go back, I wouldn't. You know, it's just like saying people say, if I could go back, I would change this. I don't think I would go back and change anything because you don't know what your life would be if you went back and changed. You could have went back and changed two things and then died, or your life worse than it is now. So you take everything that happens, everything that, as they say, everything that happens for a reason. Whether it seems like that to you now or later, everything happens for a reason. So you just got to learn to deal with whatever happens in life and keep pushing. Yeah, I've been out. I've been to Germany. I've been, Mexico, Canada. What other country? Yeah, pretty much it. Cause I've been to Germany a couple times, but it's it's different overseas. It's very different overseas, man. Um, and I'll tell you this: the reason why you see a lot of different races or persons that come from overseas over here, and they look at the African Americans in like not the best light, it's because over there they only show uh like bad things about us. The news, they only show the killings and the drug stuff, and they don't show a whole lot of highlights of all the great things that happen every day by black people over here. So it's it's a shame, but that's the propaganda that this country does. And I witnessed it. This is like not something I read online or anything. I witnessed it. I was over in Germany, and it's funny because in Germany they don't really know if you black. They think you African until you open your mouth and they speak and they know you're American or whatever. But that still doesn't really change because the, there is no N word over there. I'm pretty sure there's another version of it, but it's not the N word that we know over here. And but it's blacks aren't looked at as bad as they are over here. Like when I was in Germany, I was in Munich, and they have, I guess, I can't think of the name of this of the people there, that they are like the bad people to them, and they were like the people that helped build Germany back up after the whole Hitler thing or whatever. I can't think of their nationality right now, but if I do, I will let you know. But they are like looked at like we over here are looked at, like we ain't nothing, and that's how they look at those people. And they like Ethiopian color, like light brown, or okay, like me in a sense. Yeah. And I thought it was weird, and I was like, dang. But their story is, outside of slavery, their story is similar to ours in the fact that these people were brought into Germany after the wars, and so they brought them in, let them migrate in, but they let them migrate in with the fact that they would work, and they literally built Germany back up. And instead of it took so many years, it was impossible for them to like put them all back out or deport them or anything like that. So they just became uh, so-called Germany's second class. So yeah, man. I mean, but like I say this, racism, racism is everywhere. Racism is, first of all, racism is a taught. It is not hereditary. It is taught. And as African Americans, we all know where a lot of our issues amongst ourselves come from. However, before you can start disliking or hating, I don't like to use that word, but you know, disliking another race, you must first learn to not dislike your own race. Once you do that, then you're not even going to care about the other race, because with unity comes power. And you done watched all the movies, and hopefully you done read some books. And if you haven't read any books, what you need to read is the Willie Lynch letter. Now, that book was written by a white slave owner, like way, way back in them days. And he realized that we were producing at a mass rate. And he said that there's no way that we'll be able to control them if they unified. So the way that we can control them is we have to create a subculture, which is come from them raping the black woman slave, belittling, demasculating the black man, and creating a subculture and treating them better. Thus created dissension within. Thus created the light skin, dark skin. I don't like her. She light skin. I don't like him. He dark skin. And if yeah, it's the same like South Africa. Yeah, like apartheid. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. And it's like once you learn that, it's sad because every every leader, black leader, woman or man, that we've had that has brought about mental unity. That is people starting to listen and understand, and it's like ain't no way we gonna fight and with guns and all that and win. That we just don't have that type of power. But when you use their their own game against them, we could come up out of this. But of course, it's gonna take time. But every time someone black and is motivating and get everybody, they either kill them or they do a mass campaign where they try to discredit them, or they just plant one of our own in to bring them down, which is so sad. Out here right now, like I said, I love all my black women and men out here. I love all my brothers. I want them to do the best in life. But the economy, the government, everything, they put money above everything else. They make you think that if you got a lot of money, you're going to be equal in a sense. Now, you'll never be equal. Even with all the money, you ain't going to be equal. You see what they did to a lot of prominent black men and women of power. They like, yeah, we'll let you seem like you doing something, but you'll never, there's always a ceiling until we able to get together and unify to break it. But I don't want to get too deep into that. I think I just said enough. But um, I hope that everybody let me see. Do you have a certain type of? Nah, I don't. I love women. You know, uh, I will be honest. I'm not like really uh, attracted to white women. There's nothing against them. It's just my preference. You know, I don't I don't have anything against light skin or dark skin one. Whatever one, you know, touches my heart. That's who I'm with. If I think she's pretty, that's all that count. You know, color. I mean, if if color had some type of stature, then we all be there because I know beautiful uh I know beautiful light skinned women, I know beautiful dark skinned women. I know beautiful women that's larger than most. But I mean what is that? At the end, my thing is you still black. So it don't make a difference. So, that's why I'm like, I'm not sure what that mean, BDT. um, but yeah, I don't know. I hope that that you'll all keep coming back. Like I said, I wasn't going to be on here too long. I'm just trying to get my feet wet again and get back into this whole podcasting and sharing my thoughts and everything like that. Ah, yeah. Big dreams, yeah. Well, yeah, I did, but you know how that worked out. But I just keep looking out. If you haven't, I'm pretty sure y'all probably already subscribed. But if you just share, share my podcast with people, and give me criticism. Tell me some things that you think I should implement, or because like I said, I'm I'm trying to. I'm trying to. This is really just an outlet for me to share my thoughts and feelings and my outlook on a lot of things that's going on in this crazy world. Um, and as my daughters say, I am going to try to like implement more doing it traveling and doing things while I'm out and about and things like that. You know. Yeah. Well, exactly. I will always, you know, definitely got to show before like I said, a lot of this, y'all may not know, I have three kids, and my youngest, she's been helping me, uh, be more politically correct with my podcast and to be more uh, informative and exciting and things that people want to talk about. Because I'm not going to be on here. I'm not going to be talking about whoever, Cardi B or any of them, because I don't know them. So I don't even know why I want to sit here and talk about them. You know, but I do want to talk about things that are relevant to all of us, young, old, everything. And have some humor in there, and and have things, because anything you learn in life and it was good for you, you're supposed to pay it forward. You're supposed to share that information with the next person that you feel will take that information and take it to the next level. So with that, uh, I'm gonna I'm gonna hit my outro music here, and we're gonna see y'all again the next time. Once I can get it right. All right, I want to thank y'all for coming again to Inside the Logic with Mindful G. And remember, don't believe everything you hear. Just look inside the logic. See y'all later.